She's helping women with reconstructive surgery after breast cancer without implants. The delightful, wise Morgan Webster, my guest on my Houston Women podcast. I'm Dana Tyson, and she's loving that Mattress Mac is the sponsor. She says she's sitting on a gallery furniture chair right now. Hey, Morgan, it's so good to see you. And before we talk about this incredible career that you have created for yourself, probably going to be starting your own company like Brenda Love does for Mattress Mac. I want to just talk a little bit. You're the wife of a radio guy and Kenny Webster, who I just absolutely adore. How does that all work? I mean, how do you guys do it together? He's early in the morning with me, and you've got more normal hours. How does that work for you?
Well, so it's interesting because they say that opposites attract, and we certainly have our differences, but we have a lot of similarities in the fact that we're just inherently creative people that want to tell stories and come up with creative solutions. And so it really lends itself to these sort of industries. I never really expected to end up in healthcare, but here I am and I love it. And it's been, such a wild ride, marketing 10 surgeons.
Yes, yes. Now, can you tell us, because a lot of times we want to explain to people how you got from where you were to here. I was a stockbroker before I got into radio. And how did you go from I know you've had several careers to
Yeah.
marketing for 10 incredible plastic surgeons?
Well, so, Kenny and I met back in Chicago, and I've been here now. Christmas, it'll be 10 years that I've been in Houston. So
Wow.
it's really like two different lives. But when I was a young woman, I did a lot of theater and modeling and singing and dancing, and that sort of led to Survivor, which is something that I never really talk about, that Kenny loves to talk about on the air. I was a contestant on that show. And from there, I went into broadcast journalism and got a degree in TV news. And so writing and telling stories is really always been a part of me. And then moving to Houston, I mean, I came here without a job and started fresh over. So, and from there, it's all about who you meet and the people that God puts in your lives and your life at the right time. And for me, that's just been such a beautiful story. With it doesn't seem like there's a through line. It seems very random. But I've ended up here, and I've been here for 6 years, and all these different sort of skills that I've acquired along the way are now culminating and all paying off. And I got into this position as like a patient care coordinator, as someone who sold surgeries. And when COVID hit, our social media person had to step back and spend time and take care of her family. And so I just said, I'll do it. And the rest is history. So, opportunities have been placed before me, and it's just about seizing them and really making your own story. And that's what I've done here, is sort of stepped outside the box and have gone, I know that this is how we've done things before, but what if we tried it differently? What if we did it like this? And so it's really been an adventure.
Do you know, it's funny when you go to school for a certain thing, you do it the way the school taught you to do it.
Sure.
When you don't go to school for a certain thing and you end up in that career or that industry, you don't have the way that the school taught you to do it. You have your own way. And that's exactly what you're doing. Same with me. I took
Yes.
one announcing course up at Sam Houston. I had no radio background. And then you contrast that with Mark Sherman, my boss, who's been like Mr. Radio guy, but we both ended up in the same place with our own unique way of bringing the story to our
Yeah.
listeners as you bring the story of your surgeons. And I was just watching all the videos of these surgeons that you believe in, so you bring them to the public. And that's what we're all about, because these surgeons have been given a gift. I mean, they are highly educated, highly degreed,
Highly
And
skilled,
yeah, they
absolutely.
are. And so they've been given this gift to use their hands and their brain and do incredible things on our bodies. And I love the fact that they are so interested in helping the needy, helping people who, yes, they do the cosmetic surgery, but they're doing a lot of other different types of surgeries as well to make our lives better. So let's talk about the group of doctors that you
Yeah, so
help.
it's been such a pleasure working for them. Aesthetics is obviously a big part of what we do, but the intention is different, right? So if you are someone and you want to restore your appearance, say you're a mom and you've had kids and you just want to look in the mirror and you don't want to look like someone else, you just want to look like you did or just a better version of you. And so it's to build confidence, and it's something intrinsic that we can help with. It's not about the trends. It's not about the Kim Kardashians and
I
the
was just going to
Nicki
say the
Minaj's and
Kardashians.
yeah. So, but remember, like back in the '90s when like the circle boobs were in, and the Baywatch, and
Right.
Pam Anderson, and then it's like time went by, and she actually got those implants taken out, and that isn't something that she wants anymore. And then there's this new trend, and it's like, okay, smaller breasts are in, and bigger butts are in, and bigger lips are in, and it's really easy to, if you only do cosmetic or if you only do aesthetics, to get wrapped up in culture and society. And a lot of people, when they come to our practice, they look around and they're like, oh, you guys don't look like plastic surgery girls. And I think that's good. I think that that's a compliment, because the women that serve, alongside me, nurses, PAs, patient care coordinators, they are real women, and they too are educated, and they're here not to get the free lip filler. They're here because they love patient care and serving patients.
Mhm.
And so we are complicated to explain from a marketing standpoint because we are cosmetic, we are reconstruction, and then we're also sinus. So it's really about improving your overall well being and your life experience. So, our sinus surgeons, for example, they help you to breathe better, they help you to sleep better. And in doing so, you can just have a fuller life. Our reconstruction, so women come to us, they've had breast cancer, their breast surgeon suggests, let's not just do a lumpectomy, let's like really get rid of all the breast tissue so the cancer doesn't come back. And so what they're left with is no femininity in the way that they knew it. Now,
Right.
with someone that doesn't have large breasts, still to have what breast tissue you do have taken off, it's like the world has taken something from you,
Yeah.
right? It's
Mhm.
not about the size. And so, what we can do and what we help do is restore that. And you can do it with an implant, a breast implant, but not everybody wants that. So we do autologous reconstruction where you take your tummy tissue and you essentially reroute the plumbing.
I was watching the
So
video on that.
isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
it's microsurgery. That's not something that every plastic surgeon is capable of, right? So there's levels to it. I mean, dentists can do cosmetic surgery. And so I encourage all of your listeners, if you want to get something done, make sure that they are board certified in plastic surgery, because there are dentists in town that are doing these things and it's very dangerous. And so, but there's plastic surgeons and then there's breast reconstruction specialists. And so they're not just doing the basics, they are doing microsurgery. It's just an advanced level. But within our plastic surgeons, we have facial plastics, and we have just people that have found different earthworms, so to speak, different specialties.
Right.
So if you are a surgeon and you do everything, just like with anything in life, you you may not do it as well as that person that's really, really, really focused in on one feature, maybe facelifts, rhinoplasties. So we just have a, a wonderful group of people that really want to give back to the community, and in doing so we have to grow and expand because Houston is a big, huge place. We have a satellite office in the Woodlands, and we're in the process of building a med spa and a state of the art clinic out there. And anyone that lives in the Woodlands knows that the Woodlands is separate from Houston. You know,
Oh,
they want to
yes.
stay there. It's
Yes.
self-sustaining. I don't blame them. It's beautiful. But we certainly have plans to expand within Houston even. So right now we're in Spring Valley. We used to be in the medical center. I mean, when you think of Houston, you think of world-class healthcare because
Yes.
we are home to the world's largest medical center. So it's a very competitive scene. And what happens when there's competition is like the knives sharpen knives, right?
Yeah.
So when there's a lot of competition, like everyone has to be the best.
Yeah.
Because if you are not, the guy in the building on the floor beneath you is going to, take your patients and serve them better.
And we
And
talk. We talk.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and what's important too, I'm glad that you brought that up. Women that are going through the breast reconstruction journey, they don't want to talk to a marketing person. They don't even really want to talk to the doctor. They want to talk to somebody that has gone through
Yes.
their exact situation.
Right.
And a lot of women don't know that breast reconstruction is a federal right. I mean, if you have health insurance in America, you can get your breast reconstructed. You don't have to go without. But a lot of doctors, a lot of people don't want to tell that story, and it's frustrating that you wouldn't want to share that women have options. But if you want them to, just get your service, then you don't want to share the whole thing. And October is a wonderful time and
Good
opportunity
reminder.
for us to, because it's breast cancer awareness month, but it's also breast cancer reconstruction awareness month. And so that's a thing that's near and dear to our hearts. You're going to see billboards go up and lots of stuff. We're going to be raising money for breast cancer awareness along with the American Cancer Society. And so one of our surgeons, Dr. Scott Reis, is doing the Real Men Wear Pink campaign. And he's going to be
Wow.
raising money for this because it's a very noble cause. Way too many women and men have breast cancer.
Mhm.
And
Well, look at
so,
Olivia Newton-John. This woman, talk about bringing breast cancer. I mean, 30 years
yeah.
she had been dealing with this dreaded disease with such grace and sense of humor. I mean, what an inspiration.
Well, we all know someone that has been touched by it, right? I
Right.
mean, so both of my grandmothers, they ended up not passing away from breast cancer, but they both had it. I mean, luckily, one of my grandmas had just a small spot and they got it and had a lumpectomy, and she still had breasts and she still got to live a long, beautiful life. So it's
Mhm.
not the end, but it
Right,
is a
right.
big emotional journey to go through. And I think that women are so incredibly tough,
Yeah.
and a lot of them, they're mothers, um, and they're in this habit of not taking care of themselves because there's other people to
Right.
take care of and to care for. And so these decisions to have a surgery that does affect your exterior may be perceived as selfish, but it's not. It shouldn't be. If it's giving you the confidence to go out into the world and be a bright, shiny light, then the world needs more of that. So you do whatever you need to do. You get your breasts, you get a little bit of lipo, you get your Botox, whatever makes you happy. So you can go out in the world and spread joy, then get more of it.
Now, I want to just clarify, when you say breast reconstruction, we're not just talking about getting breast enhancement that's covered by insurance. This is after cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
Some women are unaware that your insurance will pay for that.
Yes.
So touch
So
upon that.
absolutely. So when you go through you have an oncologist, right? That tells you like, this is where the cancer's at. This is how far along it is. You're going to have a breast surgeon that removes that cancer.
Right.
And that breast surgeon has relationships with plastic surgeons. Sometimes they
Ah,
do the case together, but it's so you have a team of people that are there for you. And so the breast surgeon will remove the cancer, and sometimes at the same time, in the same surgery, the plastic surgeon will finish. And once it's been removed, then they'll go, okay, let's fill that space up. And we could do it with your own fat, with your own blood supply. And so that's what a DIEP is called, breast reconstruction with DIEP flaps.
mm,
Is that procedure in particular? But some women, like maybe like you and I, Dana, if we were to get breast cancer, we would maybe not have enough fat. And I know that's a terrible problem to have, but we wouldn't maybe have enough to fill it up. And so doctors would maybe recommend an implant
mhm.
instead. And that would be, a choice that someone that maybe has already had a tummy tuck before. And so they just don't have that same to transfer.
Right.
So these are decisions that women have to make, and they do have options. I mean, I think a lot of times women just think like, okay, I'll get it taken off, and then I'll just have the scars, and then I can wear like the fake breasts,
In
like the
your bra.
padded bras.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like that's fine when you go out into the world, but what happens when you stand in front of the mirror and you look at yourself, and looks are not the most important thing, and we all know that, but the way that you feel about yourself does inform your relationship with the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for some women may be comfortable with that, and some women say like, I just want to feel sexy, or I want to feel feminine, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So um yeah, a lot of too, our breast surgeons and our breast reconstruction specialists work together. So you may get a breast surgeon, and then you get two plastic surgeons
Wow.
working on your case, because these are like 10-hour cases. And so they may be doing microsurgery together at the same time. And so then you have two plastic surgeons to check up on you. But it is major surgery. I mean, you have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stay in a surgery center or in a hospital for 1 to 3 days. And then it's like a new phase of your life, a new journey begins.
They do those campaigns during, and it's usually during the month of October, where women
Yeah.
who have chosen to not do anything, you've seen their scars and they're totally fine with that. But like you said, that works for them. We all have our different mental state and what stage we are in our lives, it's nice to have the options like you're providing.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be like cornered or backed into any sort of thing that makes you uncomfortable, right? So
Yeah.
that is something like to bear those scars is empowering, right? And it makes me so proud. And it's like those we've been through so much. Like our scars do make us beautiful, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to feel that way
Right.
or
Right.
go that route, right?
Right. Exactly.
So what we try to do with October is just is really gain awareness and raise funds so we don't have this problem as much. I mean,
Yeah.
um, and we have one of our doctors here has been touched by cancer in a different way. And so he didn't have breast cancer, but he has his own cancer journey. And being able to survive that and to conquer that, now he has this extra way to connect with his patients.
Yeah.
So he not only is going to be in your surgery for 10 hours doing, putting everything together. Now, when he first meets you, he like has a deeper understanding of where you are in your life and in your journey and how terrifying it is. And, how strong you have to be to overcome. So yes, we do Botox. Yes, we
You take care
do
of the aesthetics.
liposuction,
Yep,
but
yep.
it's just so much deeper than that. And that's what makes it just so beautiful to be a part of and to tell those stories. It's complicated from a marketing standpoint, right? It would be
Right.
much easier if we just did butts all day
Furniture,
long.
gallery
Yeah,
furniture.
furniture. Yeah,
I
right.
love Brenda. She's great.
Well, we have furniture from Gallery Furniture.
Oh,
Love
good,
Mattress
good. I
Mac.
like to
We
hear that.
almost got it for free, but I think the Bengals didn't win at the last minute.
His
Happy to pay.
$3,000 promotion.
Happy to pay, Mac. Happy to pay.
So let me tell, and by the way, he sponsors this. He loves our
Oh,
Houston
I didn't
women.
even know
So
it.
he
I love
sponsors
him.
this. Yes, he is the best. So let me ask you, when we go to My Houston Surgeon, what can we
Yeah.
expect? Do we have to come up with money up front? Do we get a free consultation? How does it work?
I think it's a really different experience for every patient. I
Okay.
don't know that I don't know that two people ever really have the same experience with us. I think that if you are in need of cosmetic reconstruction or sinus help in some way, what you can do is go to MyHoustonSurgeons.com
Okay.
and see what we are about and see all of the amazing providers that we offer to you. And so what makes me comfortable you may want something different. Some people that are having surgery, only if you're a woman, you only want to meet with a woman because they have the same anatomy and that makes you feel more comfortable.
Right,
And then
right.
there's the total opposite, which is, I really want a man that has had this sort of education and has taken this path. And because we have so many providers, we can offer that provider that's just right for you. So yeah,
Watch the
it's
videos. I watched the videos. They were amazing. I mean,
absolutely.
these are like normal people with superpowers, really, and they love
Well,
their patients.
yes. I mean, sometimes working with plastic surgeons is like, like working with celebrities. I mean,
Yeah,
like they pump gas too. Like,
right. And you're going, God, but look at you. So I would recommend that you go check. You'll see different personalities, all so sweet,
yeah,
and I think their goal is communication. They are
yeah,
doing. One of them said, "This is an intimate relationship that we have."
absolutely.
You know.
Yeah. So whatever you come to us for, it's going to be a collaboration between you and your surgeon will co-create your treatment plan.
Mm.
They won't say, this is what you need. You look this way. You would look better if you had this. It's not that relationship. It's tell me what bothers. First of all, tell me about you. They always want to know about you first, where
Right.
you're at in your life. And then it's like, okay, tell me why you're here. What bothers you? And how can I help? And sometimes people do have unreasonable expectations when it comes to aesthetics. But the bottom line is what bothers me about me is maybe not something that you're going to notice about me. So you're not going to come into our office and have somebody say, it's not about that at all. I mean, that it's just we're not in the business of doing that. You come to us because we want to make you feel better
I love it.
whether it's instilling confidence for the very first time ever or about restoring something that was there that was gone for a moment and you want to get that back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really about how you feel inside.
Do you have galleries? Can you recommend where we can see the work done,
Of
or
course.
how can we
Yeah.
find that?
So MyHoustonSurgeons.com, we just launched a brand new, beautiful website,
Excellent.
and each of the physicians have their own photo galleries. But also, too, you can go to all of their Instagrams.
Ah,
Back in the day, doctors didn't have to be um, social media stars. But thank you, COVID and 2020 and the pandemic, the world has changed. And now if you are a physician, you probably have an Instagram presence. And so that's where I come in. And I get the opportunity to serve them and craft really who they are. So they're putting who they truly are out there so they can attract that back.
Right,
So if you go
right.
on Instagram and you go to Dr. Rednam's account, it's going to look different than if you go to Dr. Breathe Better Now account, because what they're doing is two different things. They're two different people, and they're putting out their unique energy and personalities.
I love it.
So their social media is a great place to learn more as well. They not only share their results, they share pieces of themselves too.
That is excellent. You know, I always say that Houston women, we add a little sparkle to our city. And what you're doing with My Houston Surgeons is you're helping women get that sparkle back out into the
Yes.
world.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I love that. I love your take on how you're helping these doctors who are busy doing surgery get their message out because they can't be
Yeah.
doing it all.
And they shouldn't, right? They
Yeah.
so it's like we don't even really know ourselves if we, and they are not brand ambassadors. They are really technicians of their craft, and they should be in the OR, honing that. And so for me to be able to get a little piece of them and to be able to tell their story, so they can really attract more people to help.
Yeah. That's
It's very
amazing.
fulfilling.
That's so cool. So I have to ask you, Morgan, what's it like being married to a radio guy?
Well, so I wanted to mention this
Kenny Webster,
earlier.
just so everyone knows, it's Kenny
Kenny
Webster,
Webster,
and
yeah.
he is the best.
So, okay, when I studied broadcast journalism and graduated like in 2009, all I heard from my professors is radio's dead, radio's dead, radio's dying. And
Ha,
here it is, it's
wrong.
2022, and radio's not dead, not even close.
That's right.
Kenny and I have a beautiful life together thanks to what radio has built. So
That's so great. I love to hear that because that's the way I feel. I feel like
yes,
my kids, through my radio experience, have learned so much. We've met so many great people. I get an opportunity to share people like you with our city. I mean, it's the coolest ever. Now, this is radio gone podcast, but we're still in it. You still hear
but
me
it's
on the
about the
radio.
voice. It's
Yeah,
about hearing the conversations and hearing the
right.
voices. And there is something there. No matter what happens in the world, that will still be special.
Right, right. It's so true. It's so true. We'll give him my love. Actually, I'll see him in the morning and I'll tell him that I love you because you're such
Oh,
a well-spoken, great communicator of ideas and dreams and messages. And so all the things that you've done, let this be a lesson to young ladies. Do not discount any of your experiences, which
oh
may
no.
seem mundane and going nowhere. They will lead you to exactly where you need to be, right?
Oh, I love that so much. Yes, especially when, working with doctors, they've been on a specific path for so long, right?
Right.
And it's like in that same time, I've done, I've traveled around the world and had like just a million random experiences, but it is all culminated to serving them better. And so, yes,
It's the
don't be
best.
discouraged by not knowing your path. I mean, just be
Exactly.
like a sponge and absorb it all.
Perfect. That is the perfect way to end this because I have 5 children and every once in a while one will be going through a period where they don't know where they're going. I said,
Yeah.
you're exactly where you need to be.
Yes.
Enjoy it right now because it will change. So that's
Yeah.
awesome, Morgan. It's so great to talk to you. Thank you for sharing these incredible, these such talented doctors. And I know a lot of them educated right here in the Houston, Rice
Yep.
University, Texas. And so they know our city and they know our people and they just want to help.
Yes, we do. We love Houston so much, and we're excited for Houston to learn more about us. So thank you for this
Perfect.
opportunity,
And
Dana.
October's coming up. So we will be
Yes,
watching you. We will be watching
please.
all the information that you have to come. A delight to talk to you, Morgan. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your time.
Oh, I love you, Dana. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.